exciting, dramatic, and triumphant. In the past 3 years, the Cyclones have garnered one of the best overall records in the nation, winning 24 games during that time. In 1978, the Cardinal in goal again constructed an 8-3 mark against the most rugged competition known in college football circles. Despite playing in the ultra-rugged Big 8 conference, the Ames institution has finished in the first division in each of the past 3 seasons. The result has been continuous high national rankings, and it is becoming widely known that the Cyclones are building a successful heritage equaled by few other collegiate teams. Clearly, Iowa State University is the bright star on the Midland Plains. Iowa State is a proud institution, proud of its academic achievements as well as its success in athletics. The Cyclones have won 7 national titles in wrestling and 3 NCAA team championships in gymnastics. The 121-year-old institution of higher education is equally well known in the classroom, having produced one of the top all-around scholastic programs in the nation. Several departments are world-renowned. Athletics and academics go hand in hand at Iowa State. In a recent Big 8 conference 5-year study, ISU had the highest graduation rate among student athletes. Cyclones started out 1978 on a winning note with a victory over Rice. That was followed by a win in the home opener against San Diego State. The ISU Gritters posted another non-conference triumph when they defeated the Drake Bulldogs. Kansas was the first Big 8 opponent to fall to the Cyclones. Next, it was Kansas State, which would feel the wrath of the red and gold Cyclone Gladiators. ISU took its talent show to Oklahoma State, winning 28-15. The final contest of the season was at Colorado, and before a televised audience, the Iowans won 20-16. Perhaps the highlight of the year for most Cyclone fans came on September 23rd, when the arch-rival University of Iowa would entertain their intrastate enemy from the West. Quarterback Walter Grant, coming off the bench, fueled his Cyclone teammates to 17 second-quarter points, including a touchdown bomb to Stan Hickson and an accurately placed scoring bullet to Ray Hardy. The cry defense was heard by the Iowa State defenders, and the plea was well heeded. The Cyclones constantly held the Hawkeye attack in check with crushing defensive play. Meanwhile, General Grant continued his awesome aerial display. connecting again with Hickson, who danced into the end zone. Victor Mack capped the scoring with his 7-yard run. When the final gun sounded in a game that was rated a toss-up, Iowa State could proudly claim a 31-0 blanking of its in-state opponent, giving the Cyclones a 15-2 non-conference record over the past 4 years. Until 1978, this powerful running back was the all-time leading rusher at Iowa State University. He is Mike Strawn, now a star in the professional ranks. However, this two-time All-Big 8 tailback erased the records of the talented Strawn. He, of course, is Dexter Green. On this run, Green eclipsed the ISU standard of 3,011 yards by Strawn, much to the delight of Cyclone enthusiasts. The Washington, D.C. product would go on to finish his brilliant career with over 3,750 yards rushing, placing him fourth on the all-time Big 8 list. This thoroughbred's seemingly magic ability to gain yardage, no matter what the odds, allowed him to score 40 touchdowns and rush for over 100 yards on 19 occasions. It was extremely difficult for all Cyclones to say goodbye to this personable senior. Walter Grant, number 14, was in charge of directing the Cyclone offensive juggernaut on the field. The Houston, Texas native earned the starting quarterback role midway through the season and accounted for 9 touchdowns and nearly 1,200 yards in total offense. He was equally dangerous on the ground or through the air. The Cyclones were fortunate to have another veteran signal caller in Terry Ruble, number 11, who has completed 60% of his passes and thrown 9 touchdown strikes in the past 2 years, having started 13 games in that span. Freshman Tom Roach, a hard-running rookie fullback, teamed with Dexter Green in Iowa State's I formation. Sophomore Jack Seabrook, who started 8 games, gave ISU 2 superb athletes at fullback. The number 1 support player at tailback behind Green was number 36, Victor Mack, the team's second leading rusher. The Florida Flashers, slotback Ray Hardy, number 29, and split end Stan Hickson, number 41, proved to be one of the best wide receiver tandems around. Hardy was a big playmaker with the skill and speed to go all the way on any play. He ended his career as one of the best pass receivers in the school annals. Hickson would make near impossible catches look routine. He was the most reliable receiver the Cyclones have had in several years, leading the team in that category in 1978. Vinny Serrato, number 28, provided a double threat as a reserve wide receiver or as an occasional running quarterback. Another standout backup wide receiver was number 83, speedster Greg Smith, a teammate of Grant since grade school days. Rangy 6-foot 7-inch tight end Guy Preston was another sure-handed receiver, managing to pull down anything thrown in his direction. The underrated senior averaged over 15 yards per reception in his 4-letter winning campaign. True connoisseurs of fine football keep an eye on the small intricacies of offensive line play. That is where everything must function properly for an offense to be successful. Senior center Tom Stonerook, number 59, was the enforcer in the middle, protecting his quarterback with skill. Perhaps the leader of the Cyclone offensive line was rugged junior tackle Dick Cavalier, a devastating blocker who earned second-team All-Big 8 honors. Guard Al Grissinger, number 70, has started for 3 years. Grissinger and standout tackle Brian Neal, number 76, show their ability to spring Cyclone backs for long gainers. Jim Wilson, Mike Gannon, Tim Stonerook, and Rocky Hughey also saw regular duty throughout the 78 schedule. The men in the trenches proved to be a Cyclone offensive strength. In the Big 8 Conference, the name of the game is defense. Once again, the Cyclones proved to be proficient in that department. Staying alive was tough against the likes of number 96, Tom Bosky, the only player to ever captain the Cyclone defense for 2 straight years. His idol was another former collegiate linebacker out of Chicago, Dick Butkus of Illinois. Butkus was one of the most rock-solid backers ever to play the game, and now a member of the Professional Football Hall of Fame. Bosky was built from the same mold, and oftentimes one could visualize a reincarnation of sorts when he would put the stop on the enemy, many times resulting in a fumble. This intensity and pride allowed Bosky, who often played hurt, to garner second-team All-Big 8 laurels 2 years in a row, in a league overflowing with All-America linebackers. Teaming with Bosky in the linebacking corps was John Less, number 55, who used his great size to halt opposing ball carriers in their tracks. Mike Leader, number 47, had a nose for the ball, even when carried by the great Billy Sims. And Scott Cole, number 50, specialized at the big play. Bone-jarring stops like this were not unusual for freshman tackle Chris Bosky, who led Big 8 linemen in tackles and was named Newcomer of the Year. Kenny Neal, number 62, split his time between middle guard and tackle. Nose guard John Meese, number 95, was known for spectacular play. And Steve Weideman, number 89, anchored the left flank throughout the year and finished the season as the third leading tackler on the squad. The senior kingpin of the Iowa State secondary, Roverback Tom Perticone, number 33, was one of the mainstays of the Cyclone defense. Probably the most unsung hero on the team, Perticone caused 8 fumbles and had 11 sacks the past 2 seasons. At one corner position, senior Mike Clemens, number 34, excelled against the pass. He intercepted 5 enemy aerials and knocked down 7 others in his career at Ames. At the other corner, Jerry Washington, number 17, was deadly. This blitz helped seal the victory over Colorado. A key support player in the secondary was Larry Crawford, number 44, who tied for the team lead in interceptions and drew a starting assignment in the final game of the season. Safety Mike Schwartz, number 26, was one of the best defensive backs in the Midwest, and he was named first team All Big 8 because of his heady play. Schwartz on the All Big 8 first team was defensive end Rick White, number 92. The Big 8 Cinderella story of 1978. Originally a walk-on, he led the Big 8 with 20 sacks. Mike Stansrud, number 63, was one of the best defensive linemen ever produced by the Big 8. The giant 6'5", 270-pound bear rounded up opposition backs as if they were his own personal stock. The 2-time All-Big 8 selection, named to several All-American units, finished an outstanding career with over 300 tackles and 50 quarterback sacks. Coaches divide football into 3 areas of equal importance: offense, defense, and specialty teams. Pat Kennedy spearheaded the Cyclones' so-called suicide squads, which played a vital role in the success of 1978. Ray Hardy was one of the most dangerous kickoff returners ever in the Big 8 Conference. He led the league in that category for 3 campaigns. Freshman Joe Brown, number 19, who returned 4 punts for touchdowns as a prep senior, carried that talent into the collegiate ranks, breaking this one for 43 yards at Oklahoma State. Another freshman, Rich Miller, number 3, kicked his way to stardom. This 68-yard boot was the longest in the Big 8 last fall, and Miller finished the year averaging nearly 40 yards per punt. The kick-scoring duties were handled by Steve Johnson, who was accurate on 83% of his field goal attempts. and was the second leading scorer on the Cyclone team in '78. John Meese used his extraordinary quickness to specialize in blocking kicks from his middle guard slot. Specialty teams, a key factor in Cyclone success. As a reward for its outstanding season, Iowa State was invited to play in the Hall of Fame Bowl in Birmingham, Alabama. It was the fourth postseason invitation extended to the Cyclones in the 70s. Hall of Fame Bowl President Fred Sington offered the invitation to ISU Athletic Director Lou McCullough, and more than 4,000 Cardinal and Gold enthusiasts traveled to Legion Field to watch their Cyclones battle Texas A&M. During the past 8 years, Iowa State has performed in the Sun Bowl, the Liberty Bowl, the Peach Bowl, and the Hall of Fame Bowl. Another sign of the growing heritage of Cyclone football. Dexter Green closed out his star-studded career in the Hall of Fame Bowl with 2 touchdowns and 148 yards rushing. Credit goes, too, to the ardent fan support of the Cyclones in recent years. In 5 1978 home games in the beautiful new ISU Stadium, Iowa State played before overflow sold-out crowds in each contest, with an average of over 50,000 Cyclone boosters in attendance, cheering their favorite team on to victory. And the Cyclone success is sure to continue as Iowa State turns the coaching reins over to former assistant head football coach at the University of Oklahoma, Donnie Duncan. ISU Athletic Director Lou McCullough introduced Duncan at a press conference on January 17th.
I'm very, very proud to be here. I, as an assistant coach, have waited a long time to become a head coach, and I had some priorities in terms of what I wanted, and when I visited Iowa State, I found those things. And it is my goal to indicate in the time to come that Iowa State has made a good choice. And I'm very, very pleased to be here. It is an exciting moment for me. It is an exciting moment for my family. And I can only tell you that I will do the very best that I can to build a program that the athletes here and the people that support Iowa State football will be proud of, and that we can hopefully continue the things that have gone on here in the past, continue the winning ways, and do it with a great deal of style and class and dignity, and have a good time in the process.
Aiding Coach Duncan in that goal will be 48 lettermen, including several starters. A combination of dedication, pride, and determination will ensure that the Iowa State Cyclones will remain the bright star on the Midland Plains.